Okay, Max Scam 2. Alright, this is one for the chalkboard, man. Okay, guys, I'm well aware we use the same word choice to describe what rats do in mazes and what we do when we choose either wine or beer, okay? I'm saying this one-size-fits attitude is just too crude, okay? Philosophical progress is not going to happen until we, make finer distinctions here. But I don't have a word for it, okay? So to illustrate what I'm talking about, I reconstructed our discussion not using the word choice, but using the word bat. Okay, so here's how our discussions have been going. Okay, Randy, we use the same word bat to describe two very different kinds of things. I want to talk about these kinds of bats, Mac, but we call these kind of things bats too. Randy, I don't want to talk about those kind of bats. I'm talking about these kinds of bats, the bats that can fly. What are you talking about? Bats don't fly. You're not getting my point. I know that there's two different kinds of things that we call bats, but we use the same word for them, okay? I'm not talking about all kinds of bats. I'm talking about just some kinds of the bats. Look, every time I give you a counterexample, you just reject it. Can't you see the circularity there? Dude, it's not circularity. I'm just trying to say the word bat is ambiguous. I'm only talking about some of the things that we mean when we say bat. But we call these things bats too. I'm not talking about metaphorical uses of the word bat. Okay, I'm kind of in the position here of the first alchemist who realized that there were two different metals. Okay, there's platinum and there's silver. Okay, to the naked eye you can't tell the difference between the two of them. Okay, but there's a difference. All right. And what I'm trying to do, I realize, okay, we call all kinds of things choices. We use the same word choice for all these kind of things. Okay, my goal is not to come up with one definition that will fit every possible way that somebody has used the word choice since the beginning of time and for all eternity. Okay, I'm talking about a certain specific subset of things that are going on. Okay, that we do. Okay, in particular, I'm talking about some things that we do that animals do not do. Okay. I'm talking about actions, behavior that we do for reasons, okay? The actions that we do which reveal us as being rational animals, as taking a stand on our being, okay? Our choices reveal our character, what we do, okay? You know, this is something that rats don't do, okay? There's no such thing as a goth rat, okay? There's no such thing as an emo rat. There's no such thing as a jock rat and a brain rat and a slutty rat and all this kind of stuff, right? Okay? You know, when I get up in the morning and I put on certain kinds of clothes, that reveals the kind of person that I am. Okay, that's the choice that I make. Okay, if I'm going to Starbucks or if I'm going to a small local joint, it reveals. Maybe I like Starbucks or maybe I don't want to support the corporate man or all this kind of stuff. Right? Okay, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about when I'm talking about choices. All right. I realize it's confusing. I realize that there's a huge ambiguity here, okay? But, it's not a circular argument. There's something here that I'm talking about, okay? Help me out, okay? I don't have the vocabulary to describe what I'm talking about here, but I'm talking about a specific subset of the things that we do when we use the word choice, okay? That only we do. And these things that we do for reasons. We can identify something that caused this behavior that has a normative element to it, all right? Something that reveals that person as having done something that makes sense, right? So somebody walks down the street rubbing mayonnaise through their hair. Okay, was that a choice that they did? Okay, in the sense of the word that I'm saying choice, okay, the concept I'm talking about, okay, that's only a choice if you can find some cause for that makes sense of that person as a rational being. Okay, if they're just doing that because they're crazy, it's not a choice. They're just compulsively doing it. Okay, but if you can find a reason, so maybe somebody paid them $1,000 to walk down the street rubbing mayonnaise in their hair, then it makes sense. Okay, then it realizes that they're a rational person. Okay, there's some value that they saw in rubbing mayonnaise in their hair. Okay, so I don't know if this helps or not, okay, but it's not circular reasoning. It's not like I'm just being perverse and not understanding what's going on here, okay? It's like I'm trying to refine our language. I'm trying to define a certain subset of actions and behaviors, okay? And I want to talk about these guys. And the kind that I'm doing is they can only be talked about in normative terms, not in descriptive terms, okay? I don't know. Maybe this helps, maybe it doesn't.